Alright, and here we have the mod nation showcase of Deyja, the kingdom of the Necromancers. It is based on the Necropolis faction from Heroes of Might and Magic 3, and of course on Deyja from Might and Magic 7, which are the same thing. Which is. So it's an undead nation, so it is special. But who doesn't like thousands of skeletons and leeches? We have our starting site, the pit. Produces 4 death gems and 1 earth gem. Lesser Lich, Black Knight, Power Lich, Dread Knight. Our units are the following. We have the skeleton, who is just basically a long dead, or amphibian, pierce resistant, cold resistant, poison resistant, undead, inanimate, need not eat, mindless, never heals, and death recruitment 1. So he is cheaper if recruited in death provinces. Also, they do not cost any upkeep. It is not shown in this ability list, but they are upkeepless. Then we have the skeleton archer, the same thing, but they have iron caps and bows. Again, no upkeep. Skeleton warriors, who have some armor, and again, no upkeep. The stat line is just standard. There's really nothing to talk about here. Then we have the Walking Dead, for amphibian, cold resistance, poison resistance, basically the same number of traits, but without the pierce resistance. They are quite tanky, 15 hit points, strong, they have access, and they do not cost any upkeep. Then we have the zombie, who is wielding a maul. They have some armor, but they are a bit more expensive, and still I think they do not cost any upkeep. They are very slow. And remember that they are undead and mindless, so you need undead leadership. And we have the whites. They do cost upkeep. For amphibian, pierce resistance, fire susceptibility, cold resistance, poison resistance, undead, need not eat, floating, they are not flying, never heals, and death recruitment. And they can drain life. And of course we have the vampires, who can drain life, who have a claw attack, some minor armor. They are expensive, relatively speaking. They do cost upkeep, they are vulnerable to fire, resistant to cold and poison, and they are floating, they cannot pass rivers. Now, okay, this ability gets an icon, but the lack of upkeep does not. They are stealthy. And then we have the cap only lesser Leech. Because you know, everybody likes leeches. They are expensive, 55 gold. They are amphibian, pierce resistance, vulnerable to fire, cold resistance, poison resistance. Wait, why are they vulnerable to fire? I guess that's alright. Poison resistance, undead, inanimate, need not eat, death recruitment. They have life drain in melee. And they have the death cloud attack. It's ranged, armor piercing, cold attack, that also causes a death ripple. No, this is the primary, it is not an area attack, and this death ripple is an area attack that is armor negating. It's negated by magic resistance, but only affects living beings. And it uses the same sound from Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Oh, the iconic Lich attack sound. And we have Black Knights, our sacreds, who are again very expensive, have great stats, great armor, they are not vulnerable to fire, and they have death power 1, and the castigating sword that affects gods and sacred units. It's a sacred anti-sacred unit. Our commanders, we have the Poltergeist, who is white but stealthy. You know, that's just how it is. It's a scout. Oh. No boot slots. I didn't forget that. We have the Skeleton Lord, who has some armor, who is our basic leader. Vampire Prince, who is just another leader, but a better one, and stealthy, so he can lead vampire raiding parties. We have the Death Knight, who is a sacred death power. You know, just the Black Knight, but the commander version with some decent leadership. And then we have our mages, Seeker for the Dead. She is a Death 1, Holy 1, and sometimes Death 2. She is sacred and she can summon allies. That's not werewolves. She summons 2 long dead per turn if you set her to summon allies. Not the Nation of Skeletons, but the actual long dead. Then we have the Necromancers, who are at Death 2, sometimes Death 2 Earth 1, and they summon 3 skeletons per turn. I mean, 3 long dead. And we have the Queens of the Dead, who are Death 2, Holy 2, sometimes Death 3, who summon 4 skeletons. I mean 4 long dead per turn. And we have Leeches, the same Death Cloud attack, some armor, Death 2, and Earth, Death, Fire, Air randoms. A lot of them. They're your battle mages, who even can sometimes cast Bane Fire. And they have the same traits as normal leeches. Then we have the Vampire Lord. Yes, they can shape change into vampire bats, just if you need more mobility. They are Earth and Death mages, and they have regeneration because vampires. You remember them. Now we have our Cap-only mages, the Dread Knight, Death 1, Holy 1. He has Fear, and the same thing as the Black Knight. Yes. And he is a great leader, 150 undead leadership. And we have the Power Lich, Yes. Death 3, a lot of randoms. They are very good. You know, the nation itself is very good. It had to be nerfed quite significantly, if I recall correctly. I think Sai was playing it in my game. Now let's take a look at our national pretenders. We have the Blood Dragon, who is an undead dragon with death and blood magic, and with life drain. We have the Spectral Dragon, Air, Death, Fear, Ethereal, with a Decaying Bite. No, it's decay, like in the Banefire. We have the Dread Wraith. Death Magic, Fear, Ethereal, and the Minion Monster Summoner. It summons whites. And we have Dark Knight, who is our normal Black Knight, with Fire and Death Magic, Fear, Death Power, Inspirational. Arc Leech, Magic Staff, Death Cloud, Crown Plate Kiras, Death 3 natively. And they are immortal. That's cool. Anything else? Yes. We have the Nosferatu, who is our vampire pretender, Death 2, Blood 1, Regeneration, Invulnerable, Fear, and he can shape change into a Nosferatu bat. He's stealthy and berserk. Okay. Let's take a look at our spells. There's not many of them. Okay, Conjuration. Nothing. Alteration. Nothing. Evocation. Nothing. Construction. Nothing. Enchantment. And Living Marble Gargoyles. Yes, just like Bracada, Deyja gains access to gargoyles, but marble ones, not obsidian. Death summons a pack of gargoyles. Because remember, in the pit in Might and Magic 7, you had gargoyles. Thaumaturgy, Blood Magic. Wait, where... Did I miss something? Oh, yes. You only get enchantment spells. Death 3 is enchantment 5. For 8 death gems you have Summon Wraiths. Summons a group of ethereal wraiths. Enchantment 6, Death 3, 12 gems. It raises a Bone Dragon. And enchantment 8, for Death 4, 17 gems, raises a Ghost Dragon. And let's take a look at them now. First we have the Wraiths. Our standard white abilities. But they are ethereal, they have dark power and reanimator. Anyone killed by them rises as a white. The Bone Dragon has a decaying bite, a lot of resistances but some vulnerabilities as well. And it's just a dragon chassis. And the Ghost Dragon, who has Fear and Ethereal in addition to the former abilities. The Marble Gargoyle is just a tanky construct. Nothing to see here, but at least they can fly. Unlike the Obsidian Gargoyles, they do not have armor-piercing attacks. Minion Vampire. I think that's related to a hero retinue. Same as this. Okay, let's take a look at this. We have Vampiric Bat. That's an alternative form of some vampire. Ah, it's Fend. Where is Fend? Yes, this. Remember Fend from Heroes of Might and Magic 3? We can get him as a hero. He's an Earth 3 Death 3. Vampire abilities, as he can shape change into that vampiric bat. And he generates 1 death gem per turn and has a retinue of 1d6 minion vampires. I do not remember what is the difference between the normal vampires and minion vampires. Then we have Sandro, the Lich King. Fire 3, Earth 3, Death 5. Has a retinue of 3d6 skeletons. Has Fear, Great Leadership, great stats, and he can summon normal skeletons. But don't worry, he cannot appear before turn 15. He's a late hero. Then we have the Lich Master, the Ethric the Mad. Remember, you had to raid his tomb in Might and Magic 6. The first Lich. Death 4, Blood 3. And this is Vidomina. Fire 3, Water 3, Death 2, so she can cast acid spells. Fire resistance, cold resistance, she's old? Okay. I probably should give her some age. She can make gold and generate water gems. We have Lord Hart, a Traitor Knight. He was important in the Necropolis campaign in Heroes of Might and Magic 3. In addition to the Castigated Sword, he has a lance with Death 2, Holy 3, with Fear and Death Power. Then we have the Mandar, the Greater Leech, who has Air Magic and Death Magic. And some vampires. And that's all. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time when we are going to talk about the dungeon.